Hey guys, welcome to this week's Track Talk Thursday. This week was super awesome. Got to hang out with Noah Lyles. Talked about everything from rapping to track, diet, training, transition to the pro from high school, his journey getting into track. Dude, it was a really cool episode. Make sure to head on over to Twitch. We go live on Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, sometimes other days. So make sure to head over to Twitch, hit that follow. The link will be in the description. And really enjoying this, really enjoying doing these track talks. And this week is super cool. So make sure to get through this. We got it in podcast form too. So I appreciate everything you guys are doing. Appreciate you guys being in the community here. Discord links down below. We chat there too. But now on to this video with Noah, and enjoy it. Thanks. You with me, Noah?
Hey, what's up?
All right, we're good. We're good. All right. I don't really know. Do you need an introduction? But we're going to do one anyways. We're going to do one anyways. And if I miss something that you feel is extremely important,
all right,
hit me. So you have the 100 and 400 world champ from last year in Doha. You got
not 200.
200.
I ain't trying to, don't be telling people I'm trying to run the four,
bad.
man. People have been trying to get me to run that forever. I ain't trying to do none of
My
that.
bad. Okay. Before we even get into this, before I finish this, we'll just go right into it because I mentioned to my stream on Tuesday that you were going to be on Tuesday or on today, and gave them kind of like a, hey, like we're having Noah on Thursday. And the first question out of their mouth was, what is he running a 400? And it was a discussion in my chat forever. So we'll get into that because it's it's on my mind, but you can rattle your brain about it. And I've heard your answers before. So I know what your answer is going to be, probably, but they don't. But
All right.
So 200 4x1.
Yeah.
You anchored the 4x1, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so anchor the 4x1. 4-time Diamond League Trophy winner.
Yep.
Okay. 3-time U.S. champ indoor and outdoor between the three. 986, 1950, and 1890.
Yep. Actually, I think they said it was 91.
91. Okay, we'll round it up. 91. And I mean, you got all the youth games, Olympic games, the Youth Olympics, World Relays. Those are some of the things I want to talk about. Some of those like fun meets that really no one really knows much about. So it'd be fun to talk about those. But I mean, you're getting ready to have a birthday in 3 days, right? I think.
Yeah, Saturday. 23.
So you're 22 and that's your resume. I mean, impressive, dude. So I'm glad you could join. I'm glad you made it. Really appreciate you taking the time. So, but I want to go back to the start. I always like going back to the start with people on this and going back to like the early days because it's always cool to hear because everybody's journey is different from the start.
Yeah, it really is.
You grew up in Virginia. You started running track around 12, I think is what I found. Like why 12? Why track? What was kind of your initiation into track and field?
Well, to say that, I gotta take it even further back to my parents' days. So both of my parents ran for Seton Hall, which is a college in New Jersey. It's a Catholic school. And
Ari's uncle actually ran for Seton Hall.
Oh, really?
I wonder. I need to ask him. I wonder what years he was there.
Yeah. Ask him about Kevin and Keisha Lyles.
I'll ask him. I'll ask him.
I'm like my dad. I know they had broken the American record in the distance medley relay at one point when he was there.
Oh, really?
So they have good memories of college, and so my parents were into track, so that got me into track. And I actually was born in Gainesville, Florida. Now I moved around a ton because I heard Trayvon was. He was talking with Flow Track, I think, and he was talking about, the battle between Virginia and Florida. Well, actually, I've lived in Virginia longer than I have in Florida. So I only lived in Florida about 8 years, and I was born, and then when I turned 8 years old, we moved to North Carolina. I lived there for about 5 years, and then we moved to Virginia, and that's when I stayed I want to say 7th grade all the way to high school, and that's when track got super serious. I started 12 years old and I was in North Carolina and we were doing summer track. So you go up, you're doing the AAU meets, the USATF, it's super hot. So, we're only coming out for maybe about 3 months to actually train because as soon as JOs are done, we're out. There's no reason for us to be there. And we played all the sports. So track was just like the end of the year sport to do. We were doing basketball, swimming, baseball, soccer, like gymnastics. Oh man, if if we had the money, I would have stayed with gymnastics. But we were doing everything. And then eventually I got to this point where I was playing basketball and I was just getting on like a lot of teams that I didn't see a lot of, urgency to want to be great from my other teammates. And it was really hard for me to find, good basketball teams. And I was like, I can't win a game by myself. But here I was starting to do track, and I was like, you know what? I can practice by myself. I can win by myself. I don't need other people to like drag down my talent level. Like, and I really bonded with that idea. So I just ran with it. And at first I was a high jumper, and I kind of wanted to go to the Olympics for high jump. And I turned about, I think it was 2012 when I decided I wanted to go to the Olympics. And me and my brother were we were at Junior Olympics, and we were watching the opening ceremonies, and we're like, bruh, if we do this, this, and this, and like drop 1 second each year for 4 years, we could be running fast enough to go to the Olympics. And that's what we told ourselves. And I almost did it.
You almost did it.
I almost did it.
We'll talk about that, but you almost did it.
Yeah, almost did it.
No, I'm curious. Off of that, what in 2012 like triggered that? Did you watch a certain event? Did you watch a race? Did you see something on TV, or is it just like, hey, like it's an Olympic year, like I'm gonna be in the next Olympic type deal?
I think it was a combination of like things that just hit in the right moment. We were just really starting to understand what the Olympics, how big the Olympics was for one point. Another, we were really getting into track, and we were seeing that we were good. So I actually got second in the 200 at JOs that year. I actually lost to Kenzo Cotton, who looked just as big as he did now than he did back then.
He's the same. He's a big dude.
Like, he's huge. But yeah, and Josephus got second, our third at JOs, and I was just like, you know what? If I'm this fast as a 15-year-old, if I just like keep shaving off times, I could be good. And then I was like, well, why would I want to be good? I could be great. And then what do great people do? They go to the Olympics. So I was thinking, I want to start doing things that nobody hears about. And having our parents already be in the sport of track and field, they were kind of guiding us through that process. Of course, they wanted us to take the route of going going to college and all that other stuff. But around the time we got into our sophomore year, Josephus was like, nah, forget that. We turning pro out of high school.
Yeah. So that was my next question, was like, obviously your parents have the bloodlines. They did it. They understand the sport. Were they more of a coaching parent type, or were they more of a supportive, like push you type parent?
So it was kind of a little bit of both. My dad was my first track coach.
Gotcha.
So he coached me from about age 12 to around age 15. And then when I got to high school, that's when I left my dad, because he lived in North Carolina. My parents ended up divorcing. So that was the reason we moved to Virginia. And when I got into high school, I started really training with the high school coach. So every summer we kind of like go down for summer track, and then my dad would pick up where my high school coach left off.
Gotcha.
But eventually we started making Junior Olympics, not Junior Olympics, World Youth Championships and World Juniors and all that stuff. So, we stopped going to the summer track and we started going to championships.
Gotcha.
But my dad was that coaching figure. On my mom's side, she was that supportive structure, that backbone behind me and Josephus's like goals and ambitions. She was the one who was fundraising to get us to the trials to try and make those World Youth, World Junior teams. She was the one who was kind of getting us massages and getting us chiropractors working with us. And she was really that manager side. Yeah. And to be honest, she was that person who kind of taught us how to run with your mind. You got all this physical ability, but if you don't have the right mindset, you're not going to run well.
Was she ever like, is she ever like get your ass off the couch, like, let's work? Like, is she like a, like get to it type mom, or is she kind of just like, she just make sure you do your work, make sure you get it done?
To be honest, she didn't have to be that mom, because we already had the dream.
That's cool.
Because she always like apologizes to us, because when she first heard our idea of we wanted to make the 2016 Olympic team, she thought we were joking, and she kind of laughed at it. But when she saw that we were serious, she's like, oh my gosh, I need to like start preparing. I need to figure out ways of how do you make the team? Who do I need to get them in contact with? What do they need to get to this point? So
Yeah, that's awesome.
she always said, my job is your job is to run, and my job is to make sure that everything else goes smoothly.
Like I've had conversations with your mom on the circuit, and that's 100% what I expect from her. Like she seems like the lady to just like gets it all in line, make sure you're ready to go, and then when you step on the line, she's like extremely proud of everything you do and knows that like she did everything she could to put you guys in that position. But that's really cool because like not many kids that young recognize what they have, and then not only just like say they're going to do it, but start to actually do the things to get to that point. Like you actually did the little things. Your mom got you the correct like treatment. You had the mindset. You understood what it took, and like you did your research and actually like put the pedal to the metal or whatever the axe to the whatever that saying is. You know what I'm saying? You actually did it. You actually did it.
Yeah.
So that's impressive. You said you high jumped. What was like what were some of your credentials as a high jumper?
So my biggest claim to fame is that I beat Grant Holloway in the high jump once.
That's pretty good because I think Grant Holloway is the most underrated multi-athlete to ever do the multi.
I agree 100%. Grant was let me just tell you about Grant. We would come to states, and this man did high jump, long jump, hurdles, long and short, and then he'd run the 200. This man was doing everything. And Virginia has this rule where you can only do 3 running events, but you could do as many multis. So he was just doing all the multis he could. And one year he beat us at states because he did all the jumps events. He won the jump events. He won the hurdles. And then he got 3rd in the 2.
So he beat your team.
He beat my team
by himself.
And then he had 2 shot putters for Grassfield, and they got 1-2. So they beat us, and I was like so mad at our team because me and Josephus were working our butt off, and we're over here, but just get 3rd or 4th, and they're like, you start to see that mindset where it's like, well, I don't see how I can do that. And I'm like, bro, it's time to push past your limits.
That's funny. It's funny. Okay, someone asked this, and this was my next question. It's a 2-part question.
Okay.
You high jump tomorrow. What do you high jump? And then you give 3 months of dedicated high jump training, and you forget about sprinting for 3 months, and you get the high jump train for 3 months. What do you jump?
If I jump now, I know for sure I could jump 6'4". My PR was a 6'8".
You sound like you like high jump on a regular basis still. Like the fact you're so confident with that exact number.
It's just because 1, I know how strong I am.
Gotcha.
2, I know how fast I am. And I was just like in sprinting, I'm very technical. Okay. Like I pride myself on how technical I am. So I have a lot of those movements in my body where I ingrained how to jump. And I don't think that they left. Like Michael Weibo, Shaunae's husband, is a multi-event. So he'll practice high jump sometimes. So sometimes I'll see him practicing, and I'll just actually like go up and route my path. And I did a little hop up. Of course, I never go over.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh yeah, I still got it. If I had the right shoes, I could jump this easily.
That's funny.
But if I had 3 months, I really feel that I could get 7 feet. I really feel that.
I wouldn't run it by you. You're bigger now, like you're so much bigger and stronger. Like if you already have done 6'8", and you just like relearn the technique.
And that's with no weight room training. That was all in high school. No weight room training. I was a toothpick. Like I barely had any power. Like if 3 months of training, I'm pretty sure I could get 7 feet.
Well, so let's piggyback off of that real quick before we transition into off the track stuff. I'm sure you do too. Like 3 of the biggest things I get are like, what workout should I do? What should be my diet?
Oh, yeah.
And then what weightlifting should I do? I feel like those 3 questions are like 3 of every 5 questions I get, like every time they come through. So touch on it real quick. What do you kind of do like weight room wise? Like I'm sure like someone might even ask it eventually later, but like what's simple weight room routine for you? How many times are you in a weight room? Are you doing core every day? Like what kind of is your strength and conditioning?
Yeah. Before I touch on that, I want to like lay out how our program is structured.
Yeah.
So our coach comes and he works with our weight room coach and they talk. And my weight room coach only works for my coach, my
Gotcha.
sprints coach. And they run through, this is what we're going to be doing this quarter. And we break it down into 4 weeks. So every 4 weeks, it will kind of change. And, you go from conditioning work and then you're going to paced work and then you're going to sprinting.
Yep.
So as the year goes on, that's how they're talking and planning it out. So if we're doing paced work or we're doing conditioning, we're going to be doing technical work in the gym. So we're just getting back into training. We're going to be like trying to learn, all right, here, this is how you power clean. This is how you squat. This is how you front squat. So when we start getting into that paced workouts, which is around December, you're like, okay, let's put some muscle on. Let's start squatting let's get close to your max. Or let's start doing some hex bars. We've done a lot of hex bars. We've done a lot of things to try and get our glutes and our quads and our hamstrings strong.
I'm a big hex bar guy. I enjoy the hex bar.
Yeah, I just got into it this year, and I wish we started doing it a lot.
It's like way safer, one, and like it's a little different for me than you though. But like, I mean, I'm not trying to like you're trying to. I mean, your whole goal is to be how explosive and how fast you can be. Like, I want to be explosive and fast, but I'm not trying to like go in the weight room and max out. Like I don't even know what my maxes are in weights. Like I don't really care. It doesn't matter for me. But hex bar for me is something you could do a lot of.
Yeah, and I think a lot of kids think that to be strong, you have to lift a lot. And it's not lifting a lot that you have to get good at. In sprinting, it comes down to how strong can you make your stability muscles. So yes, you want the power to get out the blocks, but you also want the muscles that stabilize. So your core, you want to be able to keep your hips tucked under you, which is something that they aren't going to teach you in high school or maybe even college. But you also want the muscles to have a good arm swing, and you want your lats to be to also have a good power behind it, because you want to be able to bring your arm back. But these are all muscles that are in behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see. All they see is, oh, how much do you squat or how much do you deadlift? Like, those are nice, the major group muscles, but it's those little stabilities, your cores, your adductors. Those are the muscles that are keeping your legs straight. They're making sure that your arms don't go wide when you run. These are the muscles that you really want to focus on, as also doing the major groups. But you don't have to lift your max to do that.
Yeah, so I was caught the end of Ari being at Oregon, like being with her, and like some of the stuff I saw her doing is like exactly what you're saying. Like, yeah, there was like that major quote unquote powerlifting part of her strength and conditioning. I mean, everybody's got to get strong, and that's like you said, a big part of it. But then Coach Radcliffe, or who's the Oregon coach, works with OTC, like the big strength. He was the exact same thing. He was like, yo, like you got to be strong, but you got to do it the right way. Like you got to not only lift right, but then you got to translate this so it actually translates to the track. And I think that's the big thing for me is like, yeah, I want to be strong. I want to be explosive. I want to have that speed and power a lot more than what I think people would expect me to have, being more 815. I still like to do the strength and like the speed and power stuff, but I have to do it the right way. And I'd rather do it the right way at a lighter weight, be stable doing it, do it with the correct muscles, than try to just be like, oh, I hex barred today, 250. Like I did 230 last week. Like I'm getting better. But if you're not doing it the right way, and you're not using it the right way and doing it in the right system, like it doesn't matter how much you lift.
Exactly. I think the truest, funniest joke in our gym, Jalen Bacon will always be like, lift with your back. And it's funny because it's an example of somebody lifting a lot of weight but doing it the wrong way, and that'll injure you.
I saw somebody say, do you know who Ryan Hall is? He's like a big marathoner. I
feel like I know his name.
He's one of the greatest American marathoners, but he's become a body lifter, like a heavy power lifter. And I saw him post a deadlift on Instagram the other day, and just his entire comments was like, yo, like your form sucks. If you don't fix it, you're going to hurt yourself. And just like the Instagram trolls just came out in full force and was just like critiquing every single lifting form. And I'm like, I am never posting a lifting video on Instagram, because I am not going to deal with Instagram trolls on my form, because I know it's not great, but I don't really like, I do it good enough to get a thing out of it, don't get hurt, get what I need out of it, and move on. But I'm like, it's just funny how you're saying like lift with your back.
Yeah, and that's how it should be. You shouldn't, we're track runners. Like my weight room coach will always say, you're not going to the Olympics for power cleans. You don't
I
have to
wish.
power clean.
I wish.
You do not have to power clean at the end of your race to prove that you won the race. And I'm like, you're so right, because I would definitely lose every
Dude,
time.
next time at Des Moines, like Noah's not dancing, like your mom's handing you like a 300-pound like barbell over the fence at Des Moines, and you're power cleaning.
Lift it. You doesn't
Lift
count
with
if
your
you
back.
can't lift it.
Lift with your back.
But I know the basics, and I know what I have to do, and I have a really good coach who keeps it in. Like, he definitely knows how to create form. So to be honest, the trolls are going to come no matter if you're doing it right or doing it wrong. Everybody thinks they know what they're talking about.
That's true. Everybody's a coach for Instagram.
Exactly.
We got a chat question real fast. How do you guys think high school track helped you improve in terms of times and form? Thank you so much for the stream. Happy early birthday, by the way. This
thanks.
Supergirl says happy early birthday.
High school is very weird, because you're in this spot where you're kind of learning who has the most raw talent. And you can come down to hard working too. But if you don't come in high school and already have the basics, you're like, oh, well, I'm playing catch up. And then if you also don't have a good coach, it's like, well, now I'm just running with raw talent, and you got hurt all the time. Like, I've seen so many good people get hurt in high school that I knew could do well in the college system and even make it to the pros. So it's so weird, a weird spot. It's like weeding out, like, I don't want to say the weak, but it's like it's
I have a
almost
question
like
for you, kind of
roll of the dice.
So I would say that a lot of high school kids don't have a system like you had, and some kids have, where it's a really good coach, a good team, supportive parents. A lot of kids have the talent. I feel like a lot of kids don't know how to deal with it. Like, I had a lot of talent. I didn't have a good coach. I did a lot of the training on my own. Like, my parents weren't runners. I just kind of, like you said, ran off talent in high school. I ran 30 miles a week, didn't do any workouts. Like, it was pitiful training. And that's part of the reason why Coach LeBedu was so excited to recruit me. It was because he saw that, like, I didn't do anything. What is your advice to kids in the sprints who maybe don't have, like, their gym teachers coaching them, or their parents aren't supportive, or they're really working off talent, and they see, like, hey, like, I can do something. Like, I can go to college at whatever level and run. I want to get there, but I don't have the structure in place. How do you do it on your own as a sprinter?
I think that something you said was very important when you said, I wasn't doing anything special, but my coach was very excited to see that. Like, he saw the talent in me. Coaches, collegiate coaches, can definitely see talent. And even if you're not running fast, they can see it in you. And to be honest, staying healthy is probably one of the best things you can do in the high school system. So trying to find somebody who can take care of you, whether it's your school trainer, or maybe you have to convince your parents to let you get massages, or even see a chiropractor, like those, or get some type of PT because you're nursing back an injury. Those are like the things that are really going to keep you healthy in the long run. Because if you make it through the year and that college coach sees that talent in you, they're going to come out and be like, hey, let me take you to now this structured program where I can make you better.
No, I agree 100%. I think it's even like, you could even go simpler of like kids who are like, say your parents don't want to do that. It's like, hey, well, if you won't take me to get a massage, like, can I get a foam roller? Can I get a stretch band?
Oh yeah.
Use like the world of social media and YouTube to like find exercises to do. Like, do all these little things. Like this guy somebody put in chat, like, my best friend in high school snapped his Achilles 600 meters into an 800 because he didn't take the time to warm up and cool down and strengthen anything. Like, just simple things like warming up and cooling down. Like I agree 100% with you. Like, you can do it on your own. You just got to kind of like put in the work and want to do it.
Yeah. And taking those extra steps, the cool downs, the warm ups, the stretching, the foam rolling, not even when you're at practice, but when you're at home, like those actually help you so much in the long run. They're not big gains, they're small gains, and they add up. And I tried to teach so many people at my high school that, but they don't always see the vision like you see it.
How many hours do you put in outside of practice and lifting and organized work? How many hours do you put in at home recovering, mental training, physically like recovering outside of actually seeing a massage therapist? How much do you do on your own?
So it could probably be more than it is now, but right now we're in a weird
Yeah.
situation. Last year I was doing Pilates every Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
and I would talk to my sports therapist every week, once a week. What else? I had my chiropractor who lives in Virginia. I have him come down. I would always get in the Normatec boots every day. You got to eat
Mm-hmm.
correctly because whatever you lost in the weight in the workout, I have to put back into my body, and then dinner is for the next day's workout.
Yep.
So it really comes down to I couldn't tell you how many hours because I feel like I'm constantly always doing
You're
it.
constantly always doing
Now,
something. It's 24/7
exactly.
job. Is exactly
It
what it is.
really is. And it's funny because when I used to tell people, oh, my job ends at what, 2 o'clock. But it doesn't really
It doesn't
because
end.
I can't go anywhere because I'm broke from practice. I'm like hurting from practice and I
Yep.
gotta recover and then I gotta cook and then all of a sudden the day's over. So what are you gonna do? Play video games
Could you
and go to
imagine?
bed.
I always think of I not think about it, but like if someone says that, I'm like, could you imagine having the job we have, which is sometimes we work out for let's say 4 to 6 hours roughly. Like that's how long you're actually practicing, quote unquote, like 4 to 6 hours, you give or take when you want to do it. And then after that, theoretically, as like a young 20-year-old, like 20-something-year-old, we could do whatever we want if it didn't have implications on what like our job actually
Exactly.
was. That's funny. Let's go off the track a little bit. We've had a really good on the track. Let's go off the track. Um,
That's fine with me.
you're uh very uh talented in multiple different things. We'll start with the rapping in the songwriting, the rapping. Um, didn't you just drop a single not that long ago, a couple weeks ago?
I did. It's called A Black Life. And it's on whatever you listen to, Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, Google Play, all that. I think it's on SoundCloud too. But it was kind of one of those songs where I had something in like my back pocket, so I had a beat that was really nice. And I was just putting words to it one day, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just come back to this later because the whole song isn't coming to me. And then the Black Lives movement started getting really, it started hitting heavy, and I was like, gosh, I was at one of those points where I felt I needed to say something, but I didn't know how to say it. And of course, that's when I made the Instagram post. And my friends, we started going to protests, and we started donating to any cause we could that we felt was really helping the movement. And then I was like, you know what? I think I got a song in me that could really, just summarize or help others understand a little more about what it's like or what we're kind of dealing with now.
Yeah. No, it's good. That's why I was like, I couldn't remember the exact date you released it, but I mean, that I highly suggest everybody go listen to it. Like you said, it's on everywhere. Um,
Yeah, it's under
and
Nojo 18. So if you follow me on social media, you've probably seen it in my bios and all that.
yeah. When have you always been like into rapping? Have you always been songwriting, making beats? Like, have you always been doing it since you were a kid?
Doing it. Oh, there we go. I haven't really. It was weird. I've always been into music. I love music. I love
Mm-hmm.
listening to it. I love dancing. Like music is definitely a part of my life, and I think I really get that from my parents, especially my mom. She would always have music going through the house, and that's definitely trickled into me. I have speakers set up all around the house, and they're all connected, so I'm always having music surround. And I just love and enjoy listening to different types of music. But I eventually got to this point where I love poetry and I love telling stories and I love finding different ways to express myself. And I was kind of playing around with my friends and we were like just freestyling over a beat. I was like, hey, come over. I'll I don't know, put like a beat on and we could like record ourselves. It's kind of like a fun joke.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh shoot, I'm kind of good at this. And I'm like, what if I actually made a song? And so I was like, let me make a joke song. And then I was like, this joke song is kind of good. Let me make a real song. And then I showed it to my friends and they're like, yo, this is good. I was like, I was thinking the same thing, but I didn't know if I was crazy. And then I showed some of my talents to my boss, Spencer, who's the head of Adidas track and field.
Okay.
And he was like, "Oh, well, the Boston Boost games is coming up, and you know who was else making music at the time? Sharika Nellis,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah.
she would come out where, yeah,
She was
every
like into it.
Thursday, yeah, she was doing like a freestyle, and we were together, and we're like, you guys should make a freestyle, or you guys should make a song for the track meet, and we're like, yeah, we can do that.
Do it.
So we made the song together, and oh man, I remember when I made the song, and my mom, she would sing it all the time because it was so catchy to her. And I'm not even gonna lie, I can't even remember the song that much. But that was like the start of track meets asking me to make songs for them. And then I was like, well, yeah, I mean, I guess if nobody's offended by them. And then I just started making them for me. And I was just started releasing EPs and singles. And I was just like, you know what, this is fun.
Nice. You're also into like, I see you post a lot about like the drawing and the artistic side as well. Your next album cover, are you gonna design your own album cover?
I've thought about it multiple times, but I don't know. Like, sometimes my like actual drawing can't fathom what I'm actually thinking in my head.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Or sometimes I want it to be a real life picture.
I have no
So
idea. I would be terrible. I'm like terrible drawer. I'm a good colorer. Like I'm really good at coloring, like shading and stuff like that. I've always like
yeah.
done that. I don't do it anymore, but like I never could draw, so I couldn't imagine like trying to draw an album cover. I'd spend hours just ripping it up, throwing it away, redoing it.
Well, to be honest, as an artist, that's all you're really doing.
Are
You're
you
kind of
super
just
hard on
making
yourself when
lines
you're
and then
recording?
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Whenever I'm recording, it's so let me just put it like this. I probably will have like if I let me think of a verse that I've used. It's like um gosh. Gosh, I'm drawing a blank on all my songs now. It's
Like how many hours do you put into a song or into a verse and stuff like that?
it's weird because sometimes it's a lot and sometimes it's not. I've written some songs in the span of 15 minutes,
Wow,
but
that's
I've
impressive.
written the song, but that doesn't
Then
mean
you've creeped
I
it. You've obviously
recorded the
shit.
song.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, it makes sense.
So sometimes you're listening to the song and you're like you have it in your head how you want it to sound and you're actually trying to say it and you're like no, that's not going well, or you've written words that rhyme really well or have a nice flow, but it's hard to articulate those words from your mouth because you're not used to saying it that way.
That makes sense. That
So you
makes
have
sense.
to constantly go back and forth and say it, and eventually I would get to the point where I've recorded one line like 50 times, and it's like I want to punch the freaking wall because it's like I just want to say this one line really nicely one time and record it.
I
So
couldn't
sometimes
imagine.
it can
I'd be
get kind
so
of
hard on
frustrating.
myself. Do you have a studio in the house?
Yeah.
Do you have a studio in the house to record?
Yeah. I turned my closet into my own studio.
I was
And
wondering.
the craziest thing is you never get used to hearing your voice.
No,
Like
I
nobody
hate
likes
it.
the sound of
I
your
hate it.
voice.
When I rewatch
So
these track talks, I like mute them. And like,
yes,
if I know
everybody
I'm
hates
talking
their
for a long
voice.
time, I like mute it. I don't listen to any VODs. Like I
Yeah.
can't stand my voice. Um,
Yeah. So even when I hear my actual songs, it's hard for me to listen to it. Cause like, yeah, I've heard it in the studio and when I mixed it and finished it. But when somebody else plays it and I'm in the room, I'm like, I can't listen to this.
so do you do all of your own like producing and editing and stuff like that?
So I have somebody that actually helps me. He lives out in LA and he actually was like, he's one of those guys who did track in high school and he heard that I was starting to get into music and he was like, hey man, uh I mix and I forgot the word it's called, but basically he finishes up, he puts all the pretty bells and whistles on songs.
Gotcha.
And I was like, well, that's exactly what I need because yeah, I can put it all together, but I don't I don't have the skills since I'm so new to it to be able to say this is where the volume level needs to be, or this is how smooth I want everything to be, or mash up everything really nicely and have it different tones and different spots. Like, that's not my gift.
Gotcha. Is master the word you're looking for? Someone in my
Master,
chat,
that was
yeah,
the
someone
word.
said master is the term.
Mastering. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
what's your current go-to songs? Like, are you like, or albums or like music? Like, what's playing in your house when you're
Yeah.
walking through the last couple of days?
The last couple of days, so I've been into Don Toliver. So about a year ago, I ran across Don Toliver, and he came
Mm-hmm.
out with an album probably about a month ago. Man, I've been waiting for that album for so long because I only had like a small bit of Don Toliver to listen to. So first he came out with he was on Jack Boys, and then he came out with his album, and man, that just stays in my house playing. Travis is always playing in my house.
Travis is over.
Like,
Okay.
yeah, like I would wake up and I'll just be like, all right, let me just get some Travis going here. And you got 5% cent. Dun, dun, dun. That's exactly what I wake up to and just start the day with. Kanye is usually always playing. And then you gotta get some rock in there. So if I'm like, I got a really hard practice, Tuesdays are hard days. You gotta put some Breaking Benjamin there, Rise Against, Disturbed. You gotta get yourself hyped.
Nice. What's your who's your top 3 all-time artists? Someone in chat asked.
Artists. Okay, that's a little harder.
Let's just do this. It's something we do sometimes. We do Mount Rushmores. So let's do your Mount Rushmore of music artists. Let's do your Mount Rushmore of artists. So if you're gonna put 4 heads on people and put it outside of your house,
Yeah,
who's gonna be
I
on?
like this. So Michael Jackson is definitely going to be
Okay.
up there. The man is obviously a genius, and I love his artistic style. His ability to make music is beautiful. I could listen to him all day.
Can't disagree with that.
Kanye West, yeah, Kanye West is up there. His mindset, I feel I have a very, like, I feel like I link with him on the way he attacks life. He's like, I'm not going to settle for anything less. I'm going out to be the best person at whatever I do. I'm like, when I hear that, I'm like, that's definitely me.
Even if it's
And I'm
partner with Gap and put Yeezys in Gap.
exactly. He's like, if I'm gonna be in regular stores, I'm gonna be the best brand out there in regular stores. People are gonna want to come to see my brand.
I don't know the
Like,
last time I shopped at Gap though.
I mean, I'm not gonna buy it. I got my Yeezys in the
You
closet.
got your own Yeezys.
But I mean, I respect him for venturing out just from music. I mean, there was one point where only people thought of him as a musician, and now he's a brand creator, and he brings his own spin onto everything. So I gotta respect that. Who is somebody else? I I feel like Frank Ocean would be on that list.
Okay.
Josephus loves Frank Ocean, and it's kind of trickled down into me. Now I'm not a biggest fan as just Josephus, but I do love Frank Ocean like that. Like, I love to listen to his music. He's a genius when he puts together songs, and he puts a lot of like secrets, like Easter eggs. He puts a lot of Easter eggs in his work, and I find that really, encouraging and really cool. The last person would be, I'm trying to decide if I should go for a regular artist or if I should go for another rapper, and it's really hard. But every time I think of somebody who like really speaks out to me and I love their music, whenever they make something, is Kendrick Lamar. He's always speaking his mind. He's always out there for the people. He's not trying to push the agenda of a bigger, brand. He's out there doing it his way. And he's never trying to lose. He's very grounded. He's not trying to lose his culture that he came up with, but he's also trying to grow as a human being. So his music always speaks to me, and I could listen to him on repeat constantly, any of his albums, to be honest.
Nice. No, I don't think anyone can disagree with those. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's pretty. There's no argument there. There's no arguing there.
Appreciate that.
No arguing there. Last topic I want to touch on off the track is we talked about it a little bit off stream. We even talked about it. You even touched on it a little bit. Is the video games, and we play some games on the stream a little bit. But like, what are you playing right now? What's your system of choice? I know you're rocking the Switch sometimes on the road. All of us rock the Switches on the road.
Yeah.
What's your current like video game situation?
Right now, I had actually just bought a new computer to play games on my computer and to do music. But my friend Kendall got me into League of Legends, and we've been getting into that pretty heavy. They are a lot better than me. I'm the support. Let me just put it like that. I enjoy being the support, though. I enjoy being the aid to my friends smacking other people. Like, to know that everybody's still alive when they could have died. That makes me feel good. So League of Legends I've been getting into. I've been getting very heavy into Overwatch.
Yep.
Again, I love being the tank, the support. I see you got Arissa over there. I'm a heavy Arissa player. I'm also a huge Mora player. Like I will be dishing out 30. Like I think the highest I've ever done is 30,000 healing, and I was very
Dude, you're
very
just
proud of
throwing
that
out
day.
healing orbs like boom, boom, boom.
Exactly.
Like
Like I'm
it just
throwing
comes
the
back
orbs,
on
they're
like
bouncing up and down. Like I am like, if I get one bad orb that floats out into the distance, I'm like kicking myself in the butt.
I
Like
always
I'm like,
played
why did I throw that?
I was Zen, Orisa, Rhine, Torb were like the four that I
Yeah.
feel like
I
I always
like Torb.
gravitate.
He's like a fun character to
Yeah,
play with.
Torb
And
is like
having that,
it doesn't take too much like skill. Like I don't like playing with like McCree or even like a Genji because it's just like the skill level is like so high to be good at those characters. But like
yeah.
Torb is like you don't have to have a high skill level, but like even like a lower skill level, you could be great at Torb, and it's like fun to play with him.
Yeah, yeah. But I've definitely got attracted to more because I think her ceiling skill height is very deceiving. Like at first, it's pretty easy to play with her, but if you want to be the main healer,
Best,
like
yeah,
and be killing people, like I've gotten 20,000 healing and also 32 eliminations at the
mm-hmm.
same time. I'm like, those are the games that I want to play.
Yeah.
So Overwatch is
You
heavy,
playing on the
and my
Xbox, right?
yeah, Xbox. Uh, I might have to buy a PS5 though because I do love my story line or story mode games. Like I just played The Last of Us Part 2, by far one of the best games I've ever played. And
Nice.
I'm in love with that series. Like they are great storytellers. So I was very happy with playing that game.
What'd you grow up
And
playing? Like, did you play as a kid?
I, I played both. You know, I first got a PlayStation 1. That was my first one, and then we stayed with the PlayStation 2, and then we had both a PlayStation 2 and an Xbox. And then when the console war started, we just happened to go to Xbox because all our friends had Xboxes, and we kind of just left the PS there. And it was at that point where you can only buy one system because you're a kid
Yeah,
and you can
yeah.
only ask for one expensive thing for Christmas. So we asked for the Xbox and we just stayed with that. But now I'm at a point where I can buy both and get all the games I want instead of waiting for Christmas.
Yep.
So now I'm actually starting to get both systems, but I'm definitely more on the Xbox side.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Chat asked one more question before we go back. What's you big sneakerhead?
It's weird. I'm not a sneakerhead in the terms of like you got the main Jordans coming out, or you'll have, I don't know, some type of foam posits. I mean, I know those haven't been that popular, but it's like the rarer shoes. So
Yeah.
I got this a cross brand between Adidas and Balenciagas, the Oswegos. Like I love those shoes, and I got I'll don't be telling all my people this, but I got certain tons of Louis Vuittons and these shoes that you find like one or fives of, or
Yeah.
the Adidas Pradas, like one of 700. Like those are the shoes that I like to go after. It's not really the shoes that everybody's like, oh, they're gonna come out on this day, and like they'll have Yeezys out. Like I'm not even that big into Yeezys, but I
Like
love
if
the
a rare
shoes that are
Yeezy
like
dropped, like
rare drops.
Sneaker News was like, oh, this is dropping on like July 17th tomorrow, or whatever. Then you wouldn't be like,
Yeah,
oh,
I'm not.
I'm not gonna like be up on the app like trying to get it. But if like
Yeah, that's not the
Balenciaga
one I'm
does
gonna be
something,
going
you're
after.
like, okay, these are the ones I'm going after. Like,
Yeah,
the ones I got
if
like,
somebody's doing a collab or something like that, something that you're not probably gonna see in the future.
what about the Dragon Ball
You
Z Adidas collaboration?
yep, I got the Gokus. I love
We
those.
figured. Yeah, chat was like that. I was thinking about that too. Let's go back to the track a little bit. Otherwise, dude, we could chat all night, dude. I mean,
If
the
we
way this
really
is going,
could, I
we
mean,
can chat all
these
night.
are the fun topics that you get onto.
These are fun.
I actually love track. That's my family loves track. We will go in and we'll actually just watch track meets. Like anytime a Diamond League comes up, it's an event at the house.
It's on.
We'll grab popcorn, we'll sit down, turn on the TV. It's really at this time.
You got dial up down there in Florida,
Oh,
dude?
there we go. We're back.
You got dial up down there or something?
We got this thing called Bright House. I'm not a fan of Bright House.
What is Bright House?
And you know what's funny? I'm sponsored by Xfinity Comcast, and they offered me a free year, but they don't have it in my area. So I'm like really hurt on that.
Oh, jeez. All right, let's go to life as a pro for you a little bit. I want to talk about that, the transition you had from high school to pro, some of the things that are different maybe for you being so young as a pro. Um, but I guess the first question is, I mean, you can make it as simple as you want. I'm sure this is something you've been asked a lot. What was it like that transition from the high school atmosphere straight into the pro, or was it even that much different for you?
For me and Josephus, I don't think it was that different because we structured our high school career very much how a pro career is. It's on our own that we had to go get massages, go to the chiropractor, go to practice, go do weight room. And now it's just that we have the resources to go bigger, and
Gotcha.
now we can fly our chiropractor in, and I can take a massage therapist with me when I go to track meets. So it wasn't so much a transition as just a different place, and it really helped smoothen that journey.
Gotcha. That makes sense. That's what I kind of figured. The way that we talked earlier, I figured that that was the direction you're going to go with that. You're at a level now, though, where, I mean, arguing best in the world at what you do. How
Mhm.
long, I mean, you have to be the best in the world, you have to be confident in yourself, confident in what you do, confident in your craft. How long did it take you to get to that point where you maybe not were physically at the level you wanted to be, but mentally you were like, okay, like when I line up on a starting line now, I'm confident that I can compete with these people. I'm confident in what I'm doing. I'm confident in my training, in my situation, in my team, and my
Mhm.
coach. Like I'm confident in the world I'm in now because you obviously were in 2016 trials. You were extremely confident. You're extremely comfortable.
Yeah,
You ran well. You don't run well if you're not that. I mean, I think
I
if
agree.
if somebody's lying and saying that you can run well no matter like what's going on off the track is a liar because it is all a big picture thing. At what point? How long
Yeah.
did it take you to get to that level as a pro where you're comfortable?
To be honest, when I think it truthfully transferred with me to high school. I had this mentality that I was literally watching the pros go to world championships in 2015, and I'm watching us get our butt kicked as a country. We're coming home, and
Hey,
we
dude,
I
that's
think
not
we
very
had like one of the
nice.
lowest
It's
medal
not very
counts,
nice.
and I'm
That's not
just
very
like,
nice. That's not very nice. I tried my best, dude. I tried my best in 2015.
hey, but 2016 you made it better though.
2016 I made it for. 2015 I tried my. No, I'm just kidding. 2015 was that was a stretch for me to be there. I was just happy to be there. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So you go on it, and I was just like, I can't wait to get to that time where it was my turn. So I was so determined in 2015 to tell myself that I could be on the same level as those pros. That in my mind it was already set. So by the time I got into 2016, when we got to the Olympic trials, I was like, I deserve to be here. You know,
Yeah.
these
No.
guys are
100%.
over here running 19 sometimes. I'm gonna be.
Mhm.
I plan to be running 19 every time.
Mhm.
And in my head, I knew that one person was gonna run a 19, if that. Usually, only one person runs 19 in a championship 200, and I was like, if I can be at 20 flat, I know I'm gonna be on
You're
that
right
field.
there. You're right there.
Yeah.
Uh, It's, I missed this question earlier, and they ask again, and I see it real fast before we get kind of a transition here. How important is nutrition to you, and when did you realize you needed to make the change in your diet and your nutrition and what you do as far as feeding your body?
So my mom had a tight hold on our nutrition when we were in high school. So around sophomore year is when she kind of said, "Okay, I'm going to be feeding you guys, excuse me, in this way." And she made sure that we had a lot of greens, so
Raw
we were eating a
beef,
lot of.
potatoes, and broccoli.
Nah, we
Protein
did eat a
shakes.
lot of broccoli. We ate a lot of broccoli. It wasn't as serious as you might think, but it's better than your mom going, "Oh, I'm gonna make let you eat Kraft
Yeah,
macaroni."
yeah.
Like, no, we're not doing that. We're having.
Fish sticks and craft boxes.
Yeah, exactly. We're not
Yeah,
doing that. We're eating salmon, we're eating turkey burgers, we're eating uh grilled chicken, just like the lean meats.
yeah.
And we aren't eating so much junk. We were very particular on, okay, we cannot be eating junk food a lot because that's just going to weigh heavy on our body. And I knew that some weeks I needed a lot of carbs and sometimes I didn't. Now as I went to the pro, I understood more how much I needed. And my coach has a nutritionist for the group. So we started working with her. And that's when I was like, okay, I know I need more iron in my diet. So I started taking more iron. And eventually we started cooking for ourselves. And this year we went into hiring somebody to cook for us. So they cook meals for us because it's very tiring to go to practice and then have to try to muster up that energy to cook yourself something and it be, healthy still, because you're just trying to grab the quickest thing to put in your
Yeah, I'm
body to fill
jealous
yourself
because
up.
dude, you're speaking to the choir, dude.
Yeah.
You bet, like, bro, like
So
getting home from a long day where you're like, you had a good workout, you had a good lift, you recovered, and then all of a sudden, then you're like, it's like 7 o'clock, and you're like,
time for
damn, I
dinner.
gotta cook this salmon up. Like, I bought this salmon, I was excited to make this salmon dish, and now it's like, DoorDash Chick-fil-A could be here in 30 minutes.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'll order
So
grilled nuggets, it'll be fine.
yeah. So I knew that was happening. So I decided to do something about it. And we chose a place called Vita 365, and they're really good. They make gluten-free meals. They use a lot of meat, lean protein. They put a lot of vegetables in their stuff, and they give me to try a lot of different foods that I actually wouldn't make myself. But it's so much easier having that, knowing that they are putting a lot of GMOs or they're using natural ingredients to make this food, because I do need the protein, but I also need the vegetables to go with it because I have to fuel my body for the next practice, which
Yeah.
is what I think these kids, or when you first talk about nutrition, they don't understand. When you're eating to prepare your body for your next activity. So you eat breakfast to prepare you for practice, and then you have lunch to repair what you did in practice, and then dinner is to help you boost back what you lost over the day and get you into that next day, and then you just repeat the process. So when you take a break and eat that McDonald's might have a lot of calories, but it's not having a lot of protein, which is what you lost from practice. And that's kind of how the idea of nutrition works.
No, it makes sense. Yeah, no, 100%. It's like the other thing is like as the intensity goes up in practice, everything else has to match it. Recovery, your
Exactly.
mindset, your diet, everything has to match it. So that's what I always tell kids. If they ask me about diet, it's like if you're in an off season and you're training, like you got a month off, like
Oh
dude,
yeah,
like
dude.
relax, enjoy, like do whatever you want. Like obviously don't
Yeah.
go like McDonald's every day. But like if you want a
Exactly.
burger, like go get a burger. But like as your intensity goes up, your intensity goes up. So
Yeah. And I'm not
uh
saying that you can't have treats. I love
yeah.
my milkshakes.
Yeah.
That's
Everybody eats
that's what I
treats. It's
don't
everything's
go
in
so strict on
moderation.
yourself.
Everything in moderation.
Exactly.
If you like were so
Exactly.
strict, like you're just mentally like it takes a lot. I feel like it takes a special person to be mentally so strict when it comes to like diet and food for me. Like I have a lot of
Yeah.
respect for the people who are like super strict in it and like
I do too. Making their own juices.
yeah, I'm like
I'm just like I'm a
DoorDash, Dash Pass, dude, Dash Pass, Dash Pass.
I'm not gonna blame nobody for that. It's hard when you're at the end of the day.
It
It's
is very
hard.
hard. We talked a little bit about it. And a lot of my chat is distance oriented a little bit. Obviously, it's where
Mhm.
this stems from. Talk a little bit about your training situation. A lot of people don't know about like your team, Pure Athletics, your coach. Like,
Yeah.
explain a little bit about your current situation in Florida. Some of the people you're training with. Just kind of explain your current training situation.
Yeah, so I train with the Adidas group, Pure Athletics, which is the only Adidas sprint group that's sponsored by Adidas. I think they have a distance group. It's the 10-man group, and I think they're in Colorado,
Yeah.
but we're the sprint side, and basically it's coached by Lance Brahman. If you don't know him, you probably know his athletes. Walt Spearman trained with him. He had Veronica Campbell Brown when she was first coming out. Tori Bowie, Shawnee Miller, Weibo, Tyson Gay, all his athletes. And
Noah
his
Lyles.
biggest Noah Lyles, his bigged pride is that he says I have the most. He's coached the most 9-second runners ever. I think he's coached 13 or 14 9-second runners in his coaching career. But he loves that saying, that one.
Okay, I got you.
That's his selling
I was
point.
trying to figure out what you said at first. I thought you said non
No,
second.
nine
I thought he
second
was saying he coached the
runners.
most like first like gold and bronze medalists at world championships and Olympics ever, and I was like, okay, it's a cool
Nah,
stat. And then when he said it again, I'm like 9 second. I'm like, okay, got it. I see what you're saying now.
Yeah, my
That's
bad on that one.
impressive. That's impressive.
Yeah. But yeah, I could go on a long list of all his athletes. But yeah, we train here in Claremont, Florida, which is near Orlando. And right now we're very dominant on the sprinter side, the male sprinter side. We're a little low on the female sprinter side, but there's me, there's my brother Josephus, we have Jalen Bacon, Kendall Williams, going on to the Tony McCoy, 400-meter runner, kind of going on to that international side. We have Keston Bloodman, we have Nico Asmead. Who else we got? We have a couple of new kids. Jelani Walker, he's also from Jamaica. Going on to the girls side, we have Kellyanne Baptiste. We're
You
gonna have
got a
to get
lot of
some new
talented
Wi-Fi
women.
out here.
You got a lot of talented women on the women's side. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Um, what's your
Yeah.
what's your rest of your 2020 look like? Obviously, there's a lot up in the air with everything going on. I know like there's
Yeah.
like some local meets. You're announced for Monaco. Obviously, who knows when we wake up tomorrow morning where the world's at.
Exactly.
What's the world we live in right now? But what the things that you can control as far as like your mindset, your training, your goals. Eliminate the fact that like whether meets happen or not. What's kind of like where are you at with training in 2020 and looking for the rest of the season, the rest of the year?
Yeah. So right now, with what we have in line, our ideal situation is, we go to Europe. I think we're gonna go to Monaco in August, and we're gonna try and bang out about like 3 track meets. I know one of them is Stockholm. We're gonna try to do Monaco, and I think I can never remember the name of that place, but it's not a Diamond League, but it is a track meet. Gosh, why
I would
can't I
I would
remember?
hope you
It's
go
it's
over to
the
Europe to do a
it's the
track meet.
highest pay. It's the high. It's like the one that everybody loves to get invitation to. It's like they pay you in cash. Oh
Oh, is it in
gosh,
Hungary?
I
It's in Hungary.
I think so. It's
It's in Budapest.
Budapest. That's it. It's Budapest.
It's not in
I
Budapest. It's in like Sheshkavara and something. It's something
Yeah,
weird.
yeah.
Dude,
But that's
I ran it like 2
everybody.
years ago. It's well, I don't know what it'd be now because of COVID. But dude, it's lit. Like packed track, like the like
Yeah,
6 row like European bleachers all the way around. People lining the streets around it. There's like a party, beer everywhere, betting. Like they pay you in cash the next day. Like
yeah.
it
Like
is
that's
the
a
track meet to be at.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if they're still trying to have a track meet, but I last time I heard something they were. Anyway, yeah, that would be our ideal situation. We'd come back, and my agent actually has this really big project going on that has to do with USATF and NBC Sports, where he's trying to get some dual meets happening against like head-to-head rivals. But I can't promise
Who
anything. We're
knows?
still trying to see how that
Yeah.
goes. But it would be really cool to see. If that doesn't happen, I'm gonna end my season around the beginning of September. But to be honest, this year has really been about focusing on my weaknesses, and
Yep.
I can tell you it's been going really well. My start, which is probably what I think is the biggest thing I need to work on, has increased tenfold. Uh, let's just say I've been running in practice sometimes that would point closer to 9.7.
Okay.
So
Okay.
practice has been going really well, and I would really just like one track meet where the wind isn't howling at me.
Or the blocks are set in the right spot.
Or the
Um,
block set in the wrong spot. That would be nice too.
that'd be really nice. Uh, 2021 is a huge year. Actually, we'll just say 2021 through 2025. Like that 5 year
Yes.
span is like that's where the money's going to be made. That's where it's going to be going. Your eyes are obviously set on 2021, making your first team. You fell just short in 16. Like you said, you're working on your weaknesses. You're working on your start. Outside of like the technical training aspect of it, how do you get on the team? How do you win USAs or qualify in USA trials and get to the team and represent the US in Tokyo?
So you said what? Not talking about the
Take out
technical?
like the training technical side of it. Like, it's the mental. Is it like improving my recovery?
Okay.
Is it staying healthy?
Yeah.
Like whatever you think is like the difference for you individually.
Okay.
That's not
So
just run
this year
faster.
I was so for the Olympics I'm planning to double. And this year I'm really focusing on strengthening my body to be able to go multiple rounds. So yeah, I want to run 9.7 and 19.2 and the world record.
Yeah.
But I want to be able to run fast easily. I want to be able to be as smooth as possible. So I'm trying to every day smoothing out my race. I'm trying to ingrain it into my mind that, okay, when we get to this part of the race, we're pumping our arms harder. And when we get into the turn, we're going to be standing tall and we're going to be coming off straight. And then we're going to be upright running and relaxed when we go down the home stretch, because I don't want to be trying to get tight and, fight myself.
Force it. Yep.
But every day I'm just ingraining that into my body, because I want to be able to say this is second nature and I don't have to think about it so hard. And again, my coach has been like easing me into his hardest workouts, because when I first got here, I was 19 years old. So he can't be throwing his hardest workouts onto a 19-year-old. But now I'm at the point where I can pretty much take anything he can dish out at me.
Gotcha. No, it's cool. I mean, it's just like that. This may be like a piggyback off of that, and you kind of hit it a little bit, but obviously you're at the point now where, mentioned multiple times, best in the world, you have all these accolades. Like, how do you stay hungry? Like, how do you show up to practice the next day? Like, a lot of kids I feel like struggle. Like, they're a state champ, they're making their the NCAA champ, or they're making their conference team, and they're achieving the goals they set out. Like, how do you stay hungry? How do you set new ones? Like, what really motivates you? Just the competition?
It's a few things, but in terms of goal setting can be kind of dangerous when you're getting to being the top, because if you throw a goal out there that's too obtainable, you're not giving yourself enough credit. So you're not going to be reaching for the stars. One of my favorite Kanye West lines is "Shoot for the stars, so if you fall, you land on the clouds." Nobody's gonna bash you for saying you want to go out and break the world record. Well, let's say Jamaican. But go out there, say you want to break the world record. So if you actually don't attain it, you can turn around and look at all these accolades you gained going up the ladder to try and break that world record. And even if you make the world record, say, all right, let's just keep pushing that barrier. I have that mindset where I was just telling my brother today, whenever I think about running 18 seconds, that just seems so, okay, let's just write it down. And that's just something for me to do. 9 and a 9 make 18. And if you just want to keep making it faster, just making certain parts of your race faster. So it's always kind of been my mindset in, pushing boundaries, and also knowing that I have targets on my back. Like,
yeah,
once you get to the top, you're not chasing
everybody
targets.
wants to knock you off.
Targets are chasing you. Yeah. And I get excited about the idea that somebody wants to try and break me, because I've gotten into my mental side where I'm like very solid in who I am, how I run, my plan. So when I see somebody who thinks that they have it like solidified in their head, and I can try and break them before they break me, that actually like exhilarates me. That's like, it's a game.
Yeah, no, it really is, because like it takes a different person when you become like the top dog versus like the I'm chasing the underdog. Like,
Yeah,
it's a whole
exactly.
different mindset. But yeah. All right, we're gonna do some rapid fire. I've skipped a couple of questions. I'm gonna go back and grab them here to end it up here. So chat, if you have any more questions, like throw them in here real fast. We're gonna do some like rapid fire last couple
let's
questions
get it.
here. Who was your favorite sprinter growing up? I was gonna ask this way earlier, and we got like going to other things.
I
like,
bet.
Who was your favorite sprinter, or what should say? Who was your favorite sprinter? Who's your favorite sprinter now? Okay, a little bit of a weird question, but I'm curious.
You're gonna be so disappointed.
Who do you respect? Who do you respect? And then I have a question,
Okay.
or who is someone that you watch film on, respect? It could be from however long ago you want to do. So I want 3 different answers here. Very old or anybody, I guess. Who you grew up watching, and then who is now.
You're gonna be so disappointed. I didn't have a favorite sprinter. I have the idea of, if I put someone on a pedestal, what is going to happen when my idol becomes my rival? Okay. Am I going to be able to step up to the plate and beat them, or am I going to have them so high on the pedestal that I'll never be able to put myself past them? So I was like, yeah, I'll study you. So we can go into the respect question. I had a lot of respect, or I still do have a lot of respect for Johan.
Yep.
I feel that being the second fastest actually makes you hungrier than the guy at the top, because you're always trying to get to that first spot, and it takes a lot of willpower to you know go into a interview and have somebody say, what is it like knowing that you're the second, you're training with the fastest and you're just the second? And I'm like, dang, like that's harsh. Like,
Yeah.
we got to remember, this is the second fastest guy ever of all time.
Yeah.
Like, that's no small feat. So it takes a lot of humility and mental strength to be able to go through that. And I have to applaud him every time because he handles it very well. So a lot of respect there. In terms of watching people when I was younger, I actually used to watch Warren Weir a lot when I was
Okay.
in high school, because I thought I feel that at that age he was the only very slim 200 runner that was running 19.7s consistently, and who was getting medals. And I was like, here's a guy who looks like me, who's saying that he doesn't have to be this big beefed up muscle guy or this super tall person to be running fast. And I was like, yeah. And he's about my height, so I was like, you know what, I like the way he runs. That was who I watched a lot of film as a kid. But even though I watched the film, doesn't mean that I tried to you know take all that and make it mine. I saw what he did well, and I was like, okay, this might be what I could do. And if it worked, good. If it didn't, don't worry about it. I'm gonna
Gotcha.
still get to the top.
No, it makes sense. You don't have to. I'm not disappointed by that answer. 100%. I respect it. I respect it. Uh, okay. I guess we'll piggyback off of that rapid fire grabbing here. What's your thoughts on Usain Bolt's comeback?
He ain't coming back.
All right. Next question. All right. Next
He's not
question.
coming back.
I'm glad you said that, not me. Best race moment, or like, what's your favorite race moment of all time? Most memorable race.
I'm not gonna lie. When I have like kind of two. So one, when I ran at Prefontaine, I ran my first 19.6.
Mm-hmm.
I was like elated
I
because
remember
I
that.
knew that was like the start of like my big like coming out party. Like, yeah, I had run 19 before, but I didn't solidify myself as like one of the greats yet. I wasn't on the all-time list or anything like that. So people were like, oh, well, here's a good talent. So that's when I went from a good talent to a great talent. And then when I won US championships in the 100, that was like a really big moment for me because it really solidified myself as a doubler. Like, I had the chance to come out here and face it with the 100-meter runners and the 200-meter runners. I wasn't just a 200-meter runner.
Yeah.
I was here for everything.
No, that's cool. No, I understand. I remember that. We kind of talked a little bit about it. Go through your typical week: hard days, easy days, off days, and then maybe a workout day. Just like super quick, like summary of like a workout day for you. Like, what do
All
you?
right,
What's
cool. I'll throw in my favorite workout. So, first we'll have Monday. You come in Monday, we'll do blocks. So it'll start with sleds, then we'll do some blocks, then we might do some 80s on the back end. Going to Tuesday. Tuesday is our longer, harder days. So we'll do maybe like this is when I would do my favorite workout. So my it's like my 200 prep workout. We do a 80 out of blocks on the turn, and then a 120 coming off the turn, and then we switch it. So then we do a 120 out of blocks coming off the turn, and then we do the 80 on the straight. So it's a pretty hard workout if you run in fast enough, but that's when we do that. Then
Yes,
Wednesday
sir.
we'd have off, and then we kind of repeat the process. So Thursday block day, Friday some a little more distance, so maybe like a 250 and a 180, something like that. And
Gotcha.
then we have weekends off.
Nice. All right, cool. Thoughts on Juice World's album, Rip Juice?
I'm actually not a fan of Juice World. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't
fair
listen to
enough.
it at all. I've listened to like 3 songs. I think it's like Bandit. Uh, what's that one that was on the radio all the time? It's like, I still see the shadows in my room.
Oh yeah,
Can't
yeah,
give
yeah.
back the love that she gave. It's like that one. And the first song on the album, the last album that he made, that was like the last one I really
Lucid
listened to.
Dreams. Lucid Dreams.
Yeah, that was from, yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
I don't know
Uh,
why I like that song, but I did.
I know the answer. Can you dunk? Can Noah dunk?
Oh yeah, I
I thought
could
so.
definitely dunk.
Can you throw down like legit can you do anything
Oh
like
yeah.
reverse? Like can you put up like some actual like
Actually, I know I can do reverse.
what's your game?
Um,
Are you like can you do more than dunk? Like do you have game?
oh well, I used to not as much anymore. My ball handling skills is like gone.
So you
But I
like
used
okay, so
to.
here's a question. Andre was in a celebrity game. Who would win one
Oh
on
yeah,
one?
yeah.
Who would win one on one?
Well, I never actually saw him play, but I'm actually good. If he was in the celebrity game and he held his own, I'm gonna give it to him because
I
right
didn't. I
now,
don't remember actually watching. Like I remember watching him, but I don't remember how good he was.
yeah, like right now, I know I like my handling is definitely gone. I'm not allowed to actually play the game. Like my
Yeah.
mom forbids it, my coach forbids it. Like it's not something I'm actually allowed to play anymore. So I can't even practice it. And you know what's crazy? My uncle just sent me a birthday present, and I gotta share it because it's so cool.
All right. All right. Let's see. Let's see it.
So he actually got me an Astro World basketball, and it's like 3M metallic, and it's like so cool. Like I love this thing.
That is dope. That is dope.
Yeah.
Wait, flip it over a little bit. You were showing the Nike and the Jumpman logo on
No,
stream. Can we?
that's not, that's enough of that.
All right. Okay. Here's a. I don't know how you're gonna. You good luck with this one. Are double workouts gonna work for a guy that stepped on the track about 5 months to get back in shape? For
No,
about okay. Okay.
I don't believe in double workouts. I think so. In other sports, they might work, but in track,
Distance running they
that
do
one
a
workout
little bit. Like not double
is
workouts, but like double runs, like double easy days. But I would never tell someone to do like hard
yeah.
workout in the morning and hard workout in the afternoon. I don't think
Yeah,
anybody does that.
even double, unless you're doing like distance where you would go out for runs, that yes. But our type of conditioning is still different. Like when we condition, we go out and we have to run as far as we can for a set amount of time. And we do that in sets and you have a specific amount of rest. I would not prescribe doing that twice a day. Like
Oh, he
it's
came back and said
there's a
I'm a.
reason you're doing
He
it
said I'm a
once.
distance runner. I would say I would as a
Okay.
distance runner perspective. I would never do two workouts in one day. I would agree with him. If you're gonna do anything double, you could jog in the morning, jog in the afternoon, or even like jog in the morning and do your workout in the afternoon. Like that doubling. But like even then, like
Yeah.
you can get away without doing it. Waves or the hair you have now.
I liked the waves, but it was so much work. Like I'm telling you, I would have to get up an hour earlier just to brush and flatten my hair and then re-wrap it in a do-rag. Like it was so much work. But I actually love my hair now. And the reason I actually got this hairstyle is because I wanted to look more like an anime character.
Whatever, dude. Whatever floats, dude. Whatever's easier, whatever you
Exactly.
like. All right, here's one. Is Spike technology ever on his mind as a competitor? Do the Nike Viper flies advantage is in quotes worry
Yeah.
him, or is he not much of a difference maker?
I'm not gonna lie. I looked at those and I'm like, are they putting springboards and spikes? And I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, I can only control what I'm doing. And I know I'm training fast and running fast. And even if it is giving some people like an advantage, if it's a big enough advantage, somebody will say something. Or
I agree.
Adidas will match it.
That's what
So I
I say, and I get this question a lot. Obviously, being the Nike athlete, and like a lot of conversation around like the 4%, the next percents, the alpha
Mhm.
flies, like everything, and like my always thought is, and my always saying is like if it's within the rules, it's within the rules. Like
Yeah.
also, whatever they say the advantage is, you still have to go out there and do it. Like,
Exactly.
dude, if you have jet rockets, if it's like if you're racing with a dude with a fan behind him like he
Mhm.
still has to mechanically run right, you know? He still
Yeah.
has to put in the effort and do it. Like you can't just like you still have to put in the work before it. You can't just instantly be like a 10 flat guy, put on the Nike shoes and instantly become like 997, you know? Like you don't
Exactly.
just like so that's what I
I
agree with you.
agree. I agree.
What does Noah think he can run in a mile?
I don't even know what a good mile time is, so I couldn't tell you.
When was the last time you ran a mile?
sixth grade.
What's the longest you've ran in the last 4 years? Consistently.
Okay,
Like in in straight run, how far have you ever run?
yeah, in high school we used to do trails, and I think one of them was 4 miles.
Okay. Who was it? I think it was Andre again. I was talking to him at one meet, and he said he hasn't run over 400 meters since he's like went to college.
Now I have run over 400 meters. I've done 450s before. It's a little secret. Sometimes I do 400-meter workouts
Mm.
in the off season, but that's of my own device. Like that's my choice to do that. That's not because sometimes it's fun. Sometimes it's not though. But yeah, I've run over 400 meters before.
All right, so I have one more rapid fire question, and then I have an ultimate question that's been asked multiple times that was discussed prior to the stream
Yeah.
with my chat and I. Here's the last. Ask Noah if he's doing the Ultra Instinct hair again for the Olympics.
So I'm not even sure if I'm gonna do the hair. Like I know I'm gonna do something. I just don't know what it is yet. And
You have
maybe
a
it will
few.
be
You
the
have a
hair.
little bit of time to think about it. Let's be honest.
Exactly, just a little bit.
It's not
But
tomorrow. It's not
gonna
tomorrow.
be something.
Yeah.
And the fact that I'm going to Japan increases the chances of me doing it. But I also like to switch things up every time. So
I said it last. Have you ever been to Greece?
no, I haven't. I haven't been to
Ari
Greece
really
yet.
wants to go to Greece. The guy who asked about the distance running was from Athens. Actually, he just said greetings
Okay.
from Athens. If you ever been to Greece. All right,
Yeah,
here's the
my
question.
mom really wants to go too.
Last question, and we can. I'm curious what
Call
you're
it there.
because I have what I think the answer could be. If we were to race in a race, where would be the middle ground between us?
Shoot. It's 8:15. The middle ground officially would be somewhere around 500 meters.
That's what I think. I think if we race a 500, somewhere
Yeah.
between like 450 and 550 would be like
Yeah.
where we'd link up and be. I think 400. I don't think 400. I think you'd beat me in a 400, but I don't think
Yeah.
that it. I don't think it'd be as bad as what people would think.
I don't
But
know, man.
all
Have
right,
you
all right,
seen
all right. We're gonna
just-
okay. You led into it. What do you think you could run in a 400?
I'm not gonna lie. If I really trained for a 400, I know I could be definitely in the 44s, at least 44.5. And if I wanted to, I know I could definitely be trying to push for those 43s.
All right,
Like,
maybe 500. 500 sounds good then. 500
yeah,
sounds,
like I'm trying to give you that that edge. Like
500 sounds good.
I'm strong enough to hold my speed, and I can come through the 300 at least 32.5 easily. So I'm trying to give you more room.
450, 500 might be where you hit the little
Yeah.
like the system
Yeah.
kind of starts to. But if
Yeah.
you train for it, it might not even be a competition at 5. I mean, if you train for it.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I've never trained for the 5. And I've run the 5 once, and it wasn't bad. I think it was like a 112 though.
All right,
Yeah.
so if I was to start training for the 4 and the 5, what workout would be an indicator workout for me to how fast I could run? I have no idea what an indicator workout could be for like that.
It depends if you want to run it like a sprinter, if you want to run it like more of a middle distance.
I'd have to run middle belt distance otherwise. If I ran like a
If you did
sprinter,
middle, run a 450, and shoot. So if you ran a 450, and you ran, the closer you are at a 50 point, it determines how good you would be. So if you're under 50 point, you're ready to run something real. If you're at 50 point, you're still in good shape. And I'm basing this off of what I did in high school, so I can't even say for sure.
yeah.
I would use a 450 as an indicator. So if you did a 450 and then you come back with 100, so you do a oh gosh, what are those workouts called? A broken run.
Gotcha, like a short rest one.
Yeah.
Like how much rest? Like 200 jog? Like 200 like walk 200s?
No, you get like 30 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
have you run
short.
hurdles? Have you run hurdles?
I did when I was like doing like the AAU stuff. So I think I was like 13, 14.
Maybe
I
we
did
should
not
race in
stick
like
with it.
400 hurdles.
No.
Because
No,
we'd
I
both be in like hell.
refuse to jump over hurdles again. I over rotated my hip trying to do hurdles, and I said never again. And I don't know if you know, but have you seen those hurdles? They high.
Dude, they're really high.
They're
Like
high.
the steeple barriers are high.
Yeah,
Like the steeple
and they're
barriers
nowhere
are high.
close to where
Yeah.
men's high hurdles are.
I
If we were
always
doing this in high
we did a
school,
decathlon on stream. We went through what I would do in a decathlon one time, and we went through it.
okay.
And I legit think like if I had like 3 months to train for like a decathlon,
Mhm.
I would be most scared about how bad I would be in the 110 hurdles. Those
Yeah,
are tall
yeah,
and
they're
scary.
tall.
Yeah,
They're high.
100%. Someone said 100, 400 hurdles at women's height. You guys could do it.
I get maybe yeah, that one's
Still
more.
doesn't mean we could do it. Still doesn't mean we want to do it. 400
Maybe a
hurdles.
joke. Hey,
Yeah.
what is people be over here race me? I was like, sorry, kid, I don't run for free anymore.
Well, man, hey, I super appreciate you spending time with us, spending time on your Thursday night. I hope you have a great weekend, a great birthday. It was a lot of fun. I appreciate everything that came from chat, but dude, like that was great, and really enjoyed it.
All right, now I'm just glad to be here. I love what you're doing. This has been a ton of fun. Just having regular conversations like this. I feel like more of them are needed. So any support you need, let me know. I'll easily give a retweet.
I appreciate it, man. Hey, appreciate it, man. Have a good night. Have a good birthday. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll talk soon.
All right, thanks, bro.
Yeah, appreciate it. All right, chat. Let me see if I can do this. Hold on a second here. If I hide this, all right, we're just gonna roll with that. Hey, chat. Thanks for coming on. Thank you for hanging out. That was a lot of fun. Noah's a great guy, and I knew that it was gonna be a great one. You guys made it great, and so I appreciate everybody sticking through, everybody hanging out. Make sure you do hit the follow button. Monday, Tuesdays, we go live. Thursdays with Track Talks. I appreciate it. Let me catch up here real fast here. Yo, the subs, the gifted subs for my Black. Appreciate it, man. 5 gifted subs earlier, so I really appreciate that. Let me go back here and grab it. So yeah, 5 gifted. Christian we got the gifted. Ryan, Klings Island, Ray, and Ocean. Welcome as subs. Thanks for the follow, Emmanuel, Kem, Waffles, Russell, and V. V's from Greece. So yeah, appreciate it, guys. This one will go up really soon on Track Talk. Spence is knocking them out for me on YouTube. So really appreciate that. Appreciate everything you guys are doing. Make sure you guys hit the Discord, hit up the channel, or hit up the YouTube. That's where all these are going to be. There's going to be some Q&As go up on YouTube that we do on stream. Monday or Tuesday, we'll do one day where it's more of a Track Talk oriented thing with video games on the back end. The other day will be more video game oriented. But everything you guys are doing as a chat, I really appreciate it. I appreciate you guys hanging out. If you have guests you guys want to bring on, questions you want to ask me for streams, ideas for like Q&As between you and I have a couple not even track athlete guests I have planned to bring on. But if you guys have anything, hit me up in Discord. That's the best place, building a little community, and we're gonna do it. Dude, giveaways are every Monday, first Monday of the month, but there's random ones randomly throughout, so giveaways will come. But thanks, Chad, again. Appreciate it, and have a great night, have a great weekend. Don't forget to wish Noah Lyles happy birthday this weekend, Saturday. Make sure you go follow him, hit him up on social media. Appreciate it all. Thanks, guys.